Tesla crosses 800 for the first time with the help of S&P news and upgrades. This is Greg for Teslafaninsight. Thanks once again for joining us. If this is your first time, welcome. If you're a repeat visitor, welcome back. So we have also want to thank our Patreon supporters. If you enjoy the show, please take time to like and subscribe. So we are just having an interesting moment here in time. Tesla crossing the 800 level is a significant milestone, and therefore we wanted to mark its occasion today. We actually have a couple of good upgrades. Goldman has it pegged at 820, 810 for the folks at Wedbush. And so we're looking forward to other folks joining aboard. Now, what's really interesting is that as certain stocks rise, once you watch how they react to earnings, once you watch how the environment they're in sort of reacts, it gets really easy to be able to predict what's going on with the stock. In Tesla's case, as you know, they now have a bunch of S&P money that's now lurking in terms of a lot of folks that are already in, so that affects the stock in terms of what the amount of float there is out there. The other issue that pops up is, what's going on in terms of further S&P buying, because there are certain people that could delay their purchases as long as they were in compliance after a certain amount of time because they're not paying S&P fees. So there are all these different constituencies that are battling it out. And it's pretty thrilling today to see the stock go from $755 on the close yesterday to now over 800 or up $50 for the day. Now, clearly there is a relief rally portion of this. There's a lot of people that were scared about, would the transition of the presidency go okay? Number one. Number two, how does the market react as it sort of rebalances in anticipation for the major agendas that the president might have? And so I think we're going to see that in terms of winners and losers on the stocks as we go forward in the near term. But it's another thing to sort of keep your eyes peeled for. So for now, I would say that I'm kind of shocked, stunned, and amazed. My expectation was that Tesla would sort of establish a 750 to 800 time frame and sort of bounce between the two regularly without a huge updraft. And the main reason is that we're really relying on valuations provided by analysts to determine what the stock is going to do. And it just seems that we've gotten back into our Tesla roll up very large numbers in short periods of time that we've seen in the past. So the other thing that we're sort of noticing is as we cross 600 and entered the 700 realm, it turns out that from a stock standpoint, it's not that big a deal on a percentage basis. How it does on an options basis, it's huge. A 40-point run could be a 100% gain on an option, where it's not that big a deal as a percentage of the stock price. So one of the things we've noticed that started to happen now is kind of like what happened yesterday. Stock was around 770-ish, 774, I believe was the high yesterday, dropped to 765, and then you could see a 10-point drop in minutes from the 765 region to 755 on the close. So I think that as we found prior to, in the good old days of Tesla, I think we're going to end up seeing these sudden downdrafts and updrafts that can mean a lot of points, a lot of profit for folks in a short period of time. It's just that now it's not as predictable step-by-step sort of increase or decrease in value that might occur. Now, I really think that clearly there's a geopolitical element to it. Nobody wants to get caught if something crazy happens at the White House, and therefore there are a lot of people that bailed. And now that it's official that the transition will occur to Mr. Biden, one of the elements of this is that once he has been certified, the inauguration process can move along, and wherever he is, that's where the president is. So it's not as big a concern about transition of power now. And I feel like that can be seen in the stock price that we're experiencing currently. So the big question for everyone is what's next? The answer that we're coming up with is nobody knows for sure, but Tesla has a huge load of great news going on. As you know, we have the Model Y coming out in China. The production facility is ready to go to push out large numbers of that vehicle. There's also a large amount of demand going on for that vehicle. And frankly, if Tesla had delivered a Model Y to begin with in this price range, it might have snuffed out a lot of other competitors who've established a footprint with vehicles in that SUV space for electric vehicles. We obviously had a couple of major upgrades, so that's helpful in the process because it allows the institutions that are buying to be validated by acquisition of shares in this price range. The third thing is that, hey, it doesn't, even if you want to be your own analyst on Tesla, you have to admit that there's a lot of things lurking, particularly sort of successful sales in China, Cybertruck about to hit, and we have what's going to happen in Germany in terms of new vehicles coming from there as well. So there's a lot of, I want to say, positive news, and then let's add to it, the fact that the balance sheet is stronger and they've been upgraded in terms of investment potential, so we know they're not going to run out of cash. And then we have another, perhaps a year before the new battery hits. So there's a large number of really awesome things happening in terms of the company doing well, in terms of excellent fundamentals. So for those of you who've been sort of making a killing on owning the stock, congratulations. For those of you making a killing on the options, congratulations. I just think that there's a lot of momentum that they have for a lot of reasons right now to do better than they're currently doing. Might there be some surprises there? Clearly there could be some negative ones. I just got a note from a viewer today regarding the fact that if the Chinese government decides that Tesla is doing too well, they could introduce obstacles like tariffs or other things that might slow the process down. But I kind of feel right now that that is definitely a potential thing to be considerate of. But now that China is in essence still shipping the excess inventory of Tesla to Europe and other places, I think that one of the hidden goals that China had was how do we increase our exports? And if they satiate domestic demand and are able to ship out, this adds to the trade advantage that China enjoys. So I generally feel like there's a large number of really great things that are going on for Tesla, so one could validate what's going on this basis. I'd say the only bad part about this whole thing is that we have a show I've been developing for a while about why it is we've had a lot of naysayers like Mr. Johnson, like some of the hedge funds that have lost $40 billion in the past year and a half. One of the arguments one could make is that if you look at the underlying research process that they use to arrive at their thesis, there's this thing going on where if you use bottom-up fundamental analysis, Tesla's numbers kind of don't work. But one of the reasons they don't work is that Elon is executing a process currently where most of the times we figure out what that process is well after he's initiated it and that process is in motion. So from a protect the firm standpoint, he has to make sure that he doesn't reveal too much and therefore affect the future of the company. But what's amazing to me is just that, you've seen a large number of ways in which he's delivered great ideas systematically, and it's kind of been fun to watch all of this occur. So at any rate, I think that, we're at 800. I think that, another 20, 30, 50 points is definitely in the offing and a possibility, and we look forward to participating in that and seeing it occur. Other than Elon saying the stock's too high to drop our price, I don't see a lot of downside lurking, but being mindful is never a bad idea. So we'll see what happens in that regard. At any rate, want to thank you for taking time out to join. Please remember to like and subscribe. For our health tips, as a reminder, don't forget, don't eat within 2 hours of going to bed minimum. Best case, 4 hours allows the food to fully digest. Also want to encourage you to consider 25 leg lifts a day on each leg, strengthens the quad muscle, reduces chance for knee issues. Also wanted to encourage you to consider some kind of fasting diet, the 5-2 or any of the others would be helpful as well. Also want to encourage you to consider easy meal, light meals to preserve blood flow for other activities in the romance space. And we'll look forward to reviewing others in our future shows. Again, congratulations on the Tesla 800 and those of you who are owners. And we look forward to some big things heading into 2021. Best of luck. Have a great day. Tschüss, German, au revoir, French, Lehitraot, Hebrew, Choda Hafez, Farsi, Straswiche, Russian, Ni hao ma, Chinese, Konbanwa, Japanese, Namaste, Hindi, Hey do, Swedish, and E bueno, e la vita, Italian. And in Jamaica, we say, enough respect, walk good man. Thanks for joining us and have a great day. And bye for now.